You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this week's show, we're on location talking about pumpkin spice lattes, heroic giant rats, and how to create a richer life starting right now.
Greetings and salutations, friends.
Thank you for shenanigating with us. Oh my gosh. Do you feel kind of like I don't know, inflated?
Not anymore. I let some gas out, if you know what I mean. Welcome, everyone.
Hello to those joining us already. I see Mike and Paul. Paul says hi from Nachoville. I mean Scottsdale.
Woo.
Man,
Yeah, they kicked us off with the nacho eating tradition during the show. We appreciate that. And
I know your tradition is very
it fits
inspiring.
well because these are actually burritos. These are gigantic burritos that helped kick off the show for us tonight. And we're on a little bit of a different set, aren't we, Kim?
Yes, yeah, we are up north here in Wisconsin for a little fall getaway with Jenna and Sue and our kiddos, and it's been a little chilly, but it's fun to get away, and The lake is beautiful. The clouds have been really fun to watch, and we're happy to have the strong enough Wi-Fi tonight to pull this off. So
yeah, it's been pretty cool. We've been looking forward to this little getaway for a while, and it's fun. But we wanted to commit to doing the show because we know we need it. We know a lot of you need it, especially with. Anyone watched the debates last night?
Hopefully this will be a little more uplifting than last night.
Trying to figure out.
There's got to be a sound effect for that. What would you?
Or maybe like this.
Actually, really perfect for last night.
I felt a little bit like the realization, like if we want this country to be amazing, we're on our own, folks. But we can do this.
Us Adultitis Fighters, we got this.
I think we have more power than we realize, and we'll be just fine. I guess we can start with just sort of like a little what's going on, right? So let's do that.
What we got.
This is a kind of a fun segment that we like to have called What's Going On, and it's a chance for us to tell you what's going on, and it's a chance for you to tell us what's going on, especially in this picture. This was cited earlier today. We took this picture. No, I don't know who took this picture. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what is going on.
That's the point.
But
you will tell us what
is
going on. So please share in the comments what you think is happening in this amazing kind of getting ready for Halloween. I mean, we're at the edge here of October.
I need this.
Costume?
I need that costume. Yeah.
Who's to say it's a costume though? Really?
Well, that's a good point. You tell us. Let's get some comments coming in here. In the meantime, we've had a fun time here so far. It was kind of weird weather today with it was raining and windy and then sunny and then raining again.
Welcome to fall in Wisconsin.
Sunny and whatnot. But we've been having fun, chilling, hanging out, playing some games. I know the kids are big gamers and they love playing the board games with Sue and Jenna. And we played a Harry Potter game the other day, which was fun. We dominated. It's fair to say.
We are on the same team.
It is collaborative, so we all dominated. So I'll take full credit.
I like those kind of games.
I'll take full credit. First time I played, dominated. So it's been fun. So let's see, what do we got? This is Kim says original chicken dance, of course.
Nice, I like that.
How about this one from Sean? He doesn't give a flying cluck.
Oh, we need.
There you go. That's your wish is my command. What else? This is no yoke. We're in the puns.
Man, I know. This is great. I love it, Lisa.
Suzanne, the sky is falling. Oh no, that's just the aftermath of the debate.
Oh, classic.
Kara, day off at KFC.
Nice.
Sharon, year of the rooster.
Hey, that's perfect.
There's Jen says chicken races. There's got to be something about the chicken crossing the road. Someone's got to have a good joke.
I'm trying to
that.
figure out what the sock and shoe situation is. If there's any sort of hint as to what the.
I know it feels
is this like a period piece.
Feels like there's some sort of stirrups. I don't know if that's the costume or if those are like some sort of lederhosen type things going on. Paul says they told me I could become an active if I did this one last thing as a pledge.
The one last thing is always the worst, isn't it?
Mary Beth says this is why the chicken crossed the road.
There you go.
Chicken with boxing. You know, that's a good point. It does. It's just those boxing gloves, or is that the like thing hanging down? This, you know, which
technical
is again
term.
A scientific term.
Yeah, I don't know. It could
be. I like
be.
the idea of it with boxing gloves. One more person asked me why I'm going to cross the road. I'm going to punch them right in the face.
Did someone say that?
No.
Oh, you're saying that.
Doreen, run like someone left the gate open. Someone left the gate open, and this guy is gone.
Classic Doreen.
Yes.
A fan of Jason's art. That is great.
Very good.
And one more thing going on. I know if you're not in the Escape Adulthood League, please check it out. I put up a really kind of heartfelt post this morning for Whimsy Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I put up a post about whimsy. Don't make me say that 10 times fast. And today I put up a post about our dear friend Chris Clark Epstein, who passed away last week, which in Kara Tracy, who's on the chat tonight, will for sure attest to the yellow that I'm sporting in honor of Chris tonight. So
yes,
cheers to Chris.
Cheers to Chris. We've got I've got a little tribute that I'm putting in the Insider this week for Chris and for mentors. If you didn't have a Chris Clark Epstein in your life, you should. I wish you would. And I think everyone has someone like that. I hope you do, because she was the kind of person that made you feel like you mattered. Maybe it was just me when I encountered her in my early speaking career and didn't know what the hell I was doing. But
I can attest to that.
Yeah. She made me feel like I mattered. She made me feel like I belonged. She made me feel like I was worthy of being a professional speaker. And man, she was quite a mentor of what it means. Probably more than anyone else in my career taught me what it actually means to be a professional speaker. She was always kind of big on. She was in our Wisconsin chapter, and she was actually a national president. But we were fortunate to have her in our local chapter, and she would just get so mad when other speakers would say, all it takes to be a professional is have someone pay you a check. And she would be like,
watch
flip
out.
Soapbox
like, no, came out. But she was so classy about how to educate newbies in their way of thinking. And we saw that several times, that leadership that she would take to educate. And that was one of the things that I think she brought to the chapter again and again, was kind of guiding us back on track, right?
Yes. The other thing that stands out to me about her is she was very strong in her views, and she took her personal stance on things very seriously. But man, she again made everyone feel valued and respected everyone's background and opinion and viewpoint. And I think that if there's anything we need more of, especially in this political climate, is for people to be passionate about the change they want to see in the world. But she never made you feel like a bad person if you felt differently on something, you know. And she really understood what that meant to be what inclusion really means, which is something that gets talked about a lot these days, but is not often lived up to in practice. So lots of lessons in it. And
if you're one of those people who loved, as she did, loved a good obituary, please check out my post. Again, it's in the Escape Adulthood League. I don't know if we can put that URL up. That you should just be a part of anyway, by the way. But every Wednesday we put that Whimsy Wednesday post up, and today at the end of that post is a link to her amazing, which I don't even think you got to read yet.
I haven't
her
read it.
amazing obituary.
Little bits and pieces.
Her family did her proud. It was very, very cool. So please check that out. It's well worth the read. So so thanks for playing around with our chicken here tonight. And I think we got to the end of those ideas.
Yeah, Mike says is a good one. Give me a beat. Give me a beat. Thank you for that, Mike.
Perfect end.
Love that.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
So we don't have any art here as we normally do, but we did want to share a few thoughts that were kind of appropriate for us being, on kind of a vacation here. And there are basically two things, as we've been talking about in the last week, that are really important for creating a life that is rich.
Yes.
And they're things that you can do like literally today or tomorrow and makes a huge difference. And the first one is what, Kim?
Anticipation. Yes. And I know I love to give Amy Payne credit for this. I don't know if she's on tonight. She usually says hi in the chat if she is, but because she just, I don't know, she continues to teach me this to a whole new level. Anticipation for Amy, who is a fellow Adultitis fighter, is the bomb, you guys, is the thing. Like, it really is almost better than the real thing in her life. And I think we can all learn from that childlike perspective, because there's so much we leave kind of on the table. Is that the right phrase? Like, when you don't maximize anticipation. Yeah,
and the easiest way to do this, and I say you could do this today, is tonight, you could plan your next adventure. You could plan, and it doesn't have to, it could be a staycation. It doesn't have to be like a travel thing.
What about planning out October?
It could be like, what are the things in fall that you're looking forward to? Because, we all live in different parts of the country. I know for us, fall, we love fall. But it's pretty short because it's in Wisconsin. It's like there was fall and now we have 10 years of winter. So it's about pointing out something that you can look forward to at a later date. That's something anyone can do. And it was interesting because we were talking recently. We've heard of some people who go to Disney World and surprise their kids and literally don't tell them they're going until they're in the airport and the kids flip out. And as much as I love the spontaneity of that, I also think you miss out on the several months of excitement and again anticipation, that electricity that you have as you go through your days looking forward to what ride you're going to go
counting
on,
down the days,
what princess you're going to meet, and if you
for you,
as many as possible is the answer. But if you're going to be able to get on that ride and how you're going to plan things out and what food you're looking forward to, all that stuff, that's part of the experience. And then when you actually get to that point, in some ways, I think it's even better because you've been looking forward to it. You've almost lived it in advance. Like exciting, right?
We've seen this on like a mega level. We haven't talked about this per this discussion tonight, but for our work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Make-A-Wish Foundation maximizes anticipation to the nth degree when it's an opportunity to do that and they're not doing a rush wish or something. But there is, I think, that anticipation that is gifted to the wish child that then is pretty much 90% of the experience.
Yes. And helps carry them through their
Right.
treatments and the difficult things that they're going on. And man, I think we can all relate to that with this year, right? Like 2020 has taken away a lot of things that we would have otherwise looked forward to. It's made things look different. And I think there's an opportunity in feeling out of control, as many of us do, to bring some of the control back by saying, you know what, I'm going to put this flag in the ground and I'm going to look forward to this. And there's certainly something in your life that you could do that with. And maybe that's like tonight when you go to sleep, it's like, what is going to be my thing that I'm going to look forward to? Some of you maybe already have something right now, but there's no reason you can't do that. And so then the flip side of that, there's anticipation, but then once you get there, there's another part of the puzzle, right?
Yes, savoring. And this is one that we talk about on the daily here in our household, just because it's all part of wonder. It's a part of the experience of being in the moment, which is what our message is all about, Charlie Brown. So if we're not living it, then what's the point, right? So I think we always constantly try to savor the moment. Even as we started talking about this last week on one of our walks, we're like, okay, this is a whole book. We're like, this is a whole book that we could write about this, and it would be kind of neat to co-write that. But this concept of using your five senses that got brought up in our big mastermind meeting recently for the Wonder and Whimsy Society is like that concept of literally going through each of your five senses and experiencing them intentionally on a walk or, when you're in certain experiences, so that you can literally savor it on a sensory level.
Yeah.
Which is powerful.
Yeah. And you talked about the idea of almost like micro savoring, right? That
yes.
it doesn't have to be, obviously there's things like taking a spa day.
Yeah.
Or traveling to a beach and sitting on the beach for a couple days.
Or wine tasting.
Or even curling up with a good book and some coffee or hot cocoa and savoring a day like that. Like those are amazing. But there's also the opportunity to micro savor. We may have a better name for that, but I kind of like that.
I do like that.
How would you describe that?
Well, when we were talking about it on our walk, we were walking through a prairie, and I was showing Jason on my kind of wonder hunts that I talk about. The concept of micro savoring is an active part of that for me, because I'm accumulating energy and positive energy, I guess is a good way to describe it, through the acknowledgement of things that I'm seeing. So it's like I was telling Jason as we were walking, I'm like, okay, like that it's almost like a video game. It's like I look at it and it connects to my heart. I look at it, it connects to my heart. This sunflower, that blowing grass, that sunset, that whatever. And it's like kind of powering up my energy in a way that fills my cup, which allows me to, be able to be more present in the moment. So,
what it reminds me of is any of you who watched The Office. It reminds me of, I think it was Pam and Jim.
Yeah.
Pam specifically, maybe, who would do this.
Yeah.
Right? It was almost like a moment she wanted to capture.
Pretty heartfelt part of The Office.
And it was like, it's a signal to be like, remember this moment right here. And you don't even need a camera. It's just about, and it's like doing that throughout your day. Even if you don't do that physical thing, but like in your head is
the intention of acknowledgement.
That taste right now, this moment with my son doing this thing right now is just savor that.
So I would love to know if you guys want to share in the comments quick, what's something in fall that you savor? Because I think micro savoring is very evident to me in fall. Like the smells, the sound of the crunch of the leaves under my feet. Like there's just powering up of so much that actually gets me through winter, to be honest. Like, not that there's not things to savor in winter, because especially with the holidays, it brings a whole different level. Yeah. But come end of January in Wisconsin, I actually use some of that energy that I stored up, kind of like a squirrel with a nut. There's a little...
You're trying to figure out a way how to get that in.
He was just over on the ledge over there. But it's, a metaphor. But that idea of like, the squirrels, they don't need to eat all those nuts in the fall, but they needed to gather them. And that's kind of what my micro savoring and, acknowledging all that wonder is about, I think. Yes.
Rachel says micro savoring is a great idea. Wonder Hunt definitely helped being able to focus on that. Yeah, I think that definitely is a cool thing that kind of tied into some of that before we even really had words to it.
Right.
What else we got? Okay, you asked about savoring.
Ooh,
Carla says apple crisp.
Yes.
I agree with that. Rachel again says the crisp, cool air while the sun is shining warmth.
That air.
Sweaters and boots.
I know. There is something new great about a new season of wardrobe, right? Yep.
Steven says pumpkin spice, which you have no idea how appropriate that comment is. We'll get to that in a second.
You're foreshadowing,
Lisa
Steven.
Says, yes, fall colors. Bonfires.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We have to get this in. We brought firewood. It's been too windy and too wet, but I'm hopeful that we will get
maybe
a
an afternoon bonfire. We just got to find that window of calm.
I hope so. Barb says seeing the amazing sky colors, crunchy leaves, hot bubble bath, good stuff. Cooler evening sunsets. Lynn says, last night there was the most incredible sunset underlighting really cool clouds. My dog and I paused our walk just to gape at it.
You know, it's kind of interesting you mentioned that, Lynn, because someone messaged us the other day and they said they pull, and it's actually Ashley, if she's on tonight, one of our Wonder Whimsy Society members. She said she pulled off while driving, pulled off the road to capture a sunset. And she's like, I think this escape adulthood stuff is starting to sink in. I've never done that before. So I took that as a huge awesomeness of like, yes, like talk about adultitis fighting, that you pull off the side of the road to take a picture of sunset. Like that's savoring, you know?
I like this, and this ties in. If you remember I think it was last week, someone, we like to have fun with typos, all right? Because someone said I love something,
typos, yeah.
And I love that. And so Shia gives us brightly cooted leaves on the ground, crisp-aired sunrise and sunset's cozy clothes. She did follow up and say it's supposed to be colored.
I like the cooted.
But I like cooted better. I like how you have a lot of cooted coots going on. Would that be the singular?
Yeah.
Lots of variety of coots. Because I like brightly cooted things as well. So thank you for that. I love that.
I love that too.
Just checking. People probably hate me for that, but I really do mean it. And like
it's kind of like
with
when
lobe. I mean it with lobe.
When we didn't know what the mousing situation was, and we were just like clueless. I'm like, what? The kids were mousing Cheetos the last few days.
Here's a good one, Kristen. Beginning to make soups and breads, those cozier foods. You know, there are certain things, like I do most of the cooking in the house, and there's certain things I just don't make. They feel like, I gotta save that for fall. I gotta save that for winter.
Famous cheesy beer and brat soup.
Yeah, that's one.
We mentioned that the other day.
Chili, I do good chili.
Yeah.
Certain things like that that are just like, those.
Stew. You have like a beef stew that's really good. He did Swedish meatballs recently. That was kind of a cozy meal too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. This helps us look forward to October as we're about to start it. Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Tomorrow is the first day of October.
So there's so much micro savoring to be done. But again, going back to the main point of what we want to talk about with bringing this richness, like how do you have this rich life starting right now, starting today, is anticipation, the combination of anticipation and savoring. And don't miss either, whichever one you need to work on more, take that opportunity this fall to do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes we are good at one and not at the other.
Yeah.
We might be really good at anticipating, but then when we get there, we're too busy thinking about what's next, and we don't actually appreciate the moment. Sometimes we appreciate the moments, but then we don't actually, like I said, put flags in the ground and say, like, what's the next thing I'm going to be looking forward to? What's the next thing I want to anticipate?
Right.
And creating that sense of wonder in front of us. So, yeah, good stuff.
It's a recipe for a rich life, I tell you.
We want to get back to something Steven mentioned earlier inadvertently, and we'll get to that right now. Okay, so something, I think Steven said something about pumpkin spice.
Yes.
And, tis the season for pumpkin spice, the pumpkin spice latte.
Some people get really annoyed by this, by the way.
Yes,
this is a little controversial.
Some people who hate pumpkin spice, whatever. Other people who hate people who hate pumpkin spice
and
latte.
They celebrate the day it shows up at Starbucks.
I have to say,
local coffee shop.
It's grown on me. I'm kind of like addicted to it now. But at first, I was like, I don't see what the buzz is all about.
Yeah.
And now I'm converted. I'm a pumpkin spice.
So what's the deal with pumpkin spice?
Well, I was curious about that because it's one of those things that feels like it's been around forever, and it hasn't. It hasn't been, believe it or not. Pumpkin spice latte is, for those of you who don't know, maybe you've been living on the moon for a few years, is a coffee drink made with a mix of traditional fall spice flavors, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove, steamed milk, espresso, and often sugar, topped with whipped cream and pumpkin pie spice. So I guess I was a little surprised to know that Starbucks actually started it.
Oh, really?
I mean,
I had no idea.
Know it.
I mean,
as
it
a
makes
Starbucks
sense,
thing,
probably.
They started it in January 2003. So we're 17 years into this now.
Wow.
Following the successful introduction of winter seasonal drinks such as peppermint mocha and eggnog latte. According to Peter Duke, Starbucks director of Espresso Americas, developers tested 10 products with consumers, with the pumpkin spice latte coming out in the middle of the group after chocolate and caramel flavors. Duke said that developers realized there was something special around the pumpkin flavor, especially since there wasn't anything around pumpkin at the time. Company experimented with different combinations and ratios of pumpkin to spice, ultimately deciding on a recipe with no pumpkin in it. But recently, they have included a pumpkin pie flavored syrup. This is as of 2015, so they went quite a while where they actually have pumpkin puree in it.
Okay.
Now. So that's the thing. But they said they started 2003. Final recipe was tested in Vancouver and Washington, D.C. And I'm curious why they picked those, but exceeded the company's expectations. They said they couldn't keep up. They had to expedite inventory to the stores. And since it's happened, it is their most popular seasonal drink, with worldwide sales of around $424 million.
Wow.
That
was a good move.
That's a lot of pumpkin spice latte. Just in 2015 alone, it accounted for $100 million in revenue for Starbucks. And interestingly now, since the introduction of Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, other companies have created pumpkin spice inspired products such as candles and air fresheners, as well as for food such as donuts, breakfast cereals, cough drops, and pasta sauce. Companies have also manufactured pumpkin spice lotion, shampoo, and candles, which I also already mentioned. So
I don't know about the cough drops.
Little time machine. You're not buying the cough drops?
No, I don't know. I mean, not that, like, I don't know. There's always that underlying, you can tell it's a cough drop, it's not candy kind of thing anyway. So it's like mixed pumpkin with that. I'm not sure. You know, by the way, Kristen Haney says she likes your professional paper tapping.
I do that? It was subconscious. I'm getting good. It's like, you know, when you're born with it, you're born with it, I guess. What can I say? But I'm glad to hear that, because I really respect people who do the paper tapping thing. It feels really...
Maybe I'll do it more often.
It's really good.
I need you to respect me more.
Work at it. Try harder. That's what I say. Barb says pumpkin puree, healthy option for the fiber content.
Interesting.
Steven says, I want to try pumpkin juice. Yep. I can't get out of here without a Harry Potter reference. I like Lisa.
Is that a Harry Potter reference?
Yeah, they have pumpkin juice.
Oh, okay.
Pumpkin juice.
Sorry, I'm not that savvy.
Yeah,
I'm a weak Harry Potter fan.
Lisa says, I don't like pumpkin flavored anything. Don't want to learn to like it.
Well,
that's totally
hashtag
fine.
Not a rule.
Totally fine.
You do you, Lisa.
Kristen says, Penzi Spices has a pie spice jar of spices.
Interesting.
Ooh, here we go. Steven says, our conversation after church on Sunday involved pumpkin brats.
Wow.
I'm intrigued.
There has to be that in Wisconsin.
As am I. Yeah, that's probably been there, done that in Wisconsin, but I have not.
No, we've never tried it.
I have not gotten
We've tried some pheasant brats recently that were very good. Right?
Yeah, my dad, mom and dad live next to
the largest pheasant manufacturer owner. Or they're not manufacturing pheasants.
They churn out pheasants all day long.
What's the word I'm looking for? Pheasant farm? The biggest pheasant farm?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Random.
They grow them right out of the ground.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Not sure why that was appropriate for that, but it was the first button I hit.
Well, thank you for all of that history of pumpkin spice. I did see Rachel said she is team PSL pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
I appreciate, the creativity. It took me a few minutes to realize what you're talking about there, Rachel.
Helen says, I have a pumpkin soup once. It was delicious.
Interesting.
I think if I've ever had pumpkin soup or not. I don't
be good with cornbread.
It would be good with cornbread. Yes. All right. Well, I'm glad that my paper tapping is going well, because I got some more paper tapping to do. All right, we're back for another edition of Adultitis-Free News. Got some
You
news
got them started
here.
now, Kristen. Watch out.
I'm out of control. All right, here we go. Older people have become younger. Maybe this should have been in the time machine segment. Study finds functional ability of seniors has improved. Study conducted by the Faculty of Sport and Health Sciences at the University of Jyväskylä, Finland.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of
There's
consonants.
not enough vowels in there. Found that the functional ability of older people is nowadays better when it is compared to that of people of the same age 3 decades ago. Study compared the physical and cognitive performance of people between the ages of 75 and 80 with that of the same age people in the 1990s.
Whoa,
Among men and women between the ages of 75 and 80, muscle strength, walking speed, reaction speed, ninja skills.
No.
Verbal,
really
that's in there. No,
what?
it's not. Verbal fluency, reasoning, and Quidditch playing, and working memory are significantly better than they were in people at the same age born earlier. So, doctoral student Kaisa Kuvinyan says higher physical activity and increased body size explain the better walking speed and muscle strength among the later born cohort, whereas the most important underlying factor behind the cohort differences. So here's a question: Why do you think? What is the factor, Kim? Why are they doing better now?
Does the article tell us, or we're going to speculate?
It does, but I want you to speculate embarrassingly. I will tell you the real answer.
At least he's honest.
Why are people the age of 75 and 80 acting more? Are they more younger than people from
Here's
the
my
1990s?
theory, and this is literally the first time I'm thinking of this, okay? And I'm not an extrovert, so, this is not my strength.
This is why it's great for live. Drink up.
All right, yeah. Here's my theory, is that the life expectancy has risen, and that's just a normal thing that we all know based on healthcare and the knowledge of that. And so I think that when you're expected to live longer, subconsciously you live up to it, that you have to be able to be able to do that. So I think there's something with life expectancy.
So you think
and knowledge,
it's a positive prophecy?
Yeah, it's like a placebo.
Because they think they're supposed to live older, but somehow they live longer.
So here, you could go the opposite. If you knew that your life expectancy would be 65 or 60 or whatever, then you're going to start slowing down mentally in your 50s because you've got to figure that your life is slowing down. So I think it's kind of like what you're expecting to happen. So there's my theory.
If we start a worldwide campaign that life expectancy is 150 years old,
changes everything.
30 years later,
science.
We're doing it.
This is science. They should have had me on this COVID committee, you guys. I think I could have brought a lot.
Heck yes, I did.
All right, well, let's get to some true facts. Because as we say at the beginning of the segment, this is always fun, never fake. So basically, it's knowledge. So cohort of 75 and 80-year-olds born later has grown up and lived in a different world than did their counterparts born 3 decades ago. There have been many favorable changes. These include better nutrition and hygiene, improvements in healthcare and the school system, better accessibility to education, and improved working life. The results suggest that increased life expectancy is accompanied by an increased number of years lived with good functional ability later in life. This observation can be explained by a slower rate of change with increasing age, a higher lifetime maximum in physical performance, or a combination of the two. So
I kind of feel like my answer was in there.
We have better knowledge of how to eat and how to live, and more school systems are better. It gives people better jobs. They're more they're not working in the fields and factories,
and they know they're gonna live longer. So they do.
Let me see that again.
It said life expectancy. Life expectancy. Read that part over again.
What I want to do is I want to introduce a couple people because we don't often.
Lisa says that sounds like what Kim said, only different words, but the same gist. See, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you, Lisa, but I appreciate your effort.
Okay, let me bring in some real experts here. Children who are waiting patiently in the other room and agreed that they wanted to be on the show here tonight.
We never forced them.
So they're coming in.
Oh boy.
We've got Benjamin,
yeah,
Virginia, aka Ginny, aka Ro, and Lucy Ruth, our oldest. I have some questions for you guys. We were just talking about that people are living longer and they're more younger. And I thought it might be useful for you to hear from experts. Do you guys have any ideas of what grown-ups can do to be more like kids, to be younger and not be so like, what is that disease we talk about all the time? Adultitis, right? And that's a serious problem, right? Do mom and dad ever have adultitis?
No. Oh, wow.
So, okay. I was going to say, I didn't know what the answer would be for that.
Miss Amy says, hi, guys. Hi, Miss Amy.
So, do you guys, and I know I'm putting you on the spot. I should have asked you to think about it. But do you guys have any tips or advice for grown-ups who want to stay feeling young, what they might do? Like, what would be a good...
Break rules that don't exist.
Put this girl on the payroll over here. So like such as what? Can you think of one? That would be a good one.
Go on a pajama run.
Pajama run. I like that.
Ice cream in your pajamas.
Having fun. What would be a thing that grown-ups could do to have fun that you don't usually see grown-ups doing, but kids do to have fun? Think about that. I'll come back to you. Ginny, what do you think grown-ups should do to be more like kids and feel younger? What about the thing going on with your hair there?
To dye your hair.
Dye your hair. You are convincing Grandpa.
I know.
Who is thinking about getting some blue streaks in his hair.
Grandpa Kotecki.
And he's perfect because his hair is white now. And everyone knows that you need to bleach the hair to make it the color stand out. So that might be a good tip. Ben, did you get anything? Something that is fun for grown-ups that that kids do that grown-ups don't? Play.
Look at this, by the way.
Good.
Kim Stanfield McMillan says colored hair with purple and blue is a great start. That was before you said that. So we're channeling you, Kim. We're just totally on track. And then look what Jill said after. This is weird.
Play.
Is this time lapsed?
Oh,
like,
this
is this
crazy
like
talk.
you guys are seeing this in the future before we say it? That's awesome.
Amy says Team Grandpa.
Ah,
He needs
right?
to do it.
Right?
And Shauna says that she needs a sequin pizza shirt.
Right? Can you see that? Look up. Sequin pizza.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to add? Share?
Make a living room tent.
Oh, that's a good one. Make a living room tent. That's a good one.
On vacation, Ro made a living room tent. It was kind of right here, actually, right here in this space. And then we colored in coloring books underneath of it. And it was dark, so we used the flashlight from our phone to see it. So that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? Anything else, Lucy? She's always got something to say about fighting adultitis. She's been around the longest. Any other comments before you guys head back?
I thought that maybe you could play at a playground. That's a good way to fight adultitis.
Swing.
Which makes me
Go
grow
down the
up now,
slide.
apparently.
Yeah.
You know, am I the only grown-up that can't swing on a swing anymore?
Out of practice, maybe. Maybe
Darn
that's what
you,
it is. Your
old
body
age.
is not used to
I
it.
know. Maybe I just gotta keep practicing. So.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you. Thank
Say
you for
bye.
being our little special guests.
Oh, got it. All right, pizza shirt.
All right. That was good. Hopefully that was helpful. I've got another one here.
All right.
Kayaker finds bottle with decades-old message, reunites it with author.
Aww.
Isn't that cool?
Wow.
After more than 3 decades floating in a Delaware river, a message in a bottle has finally been found and reunited with its author.
Aww.
Local resident Brad Washmuth found the 35-year-old relic while kayaking on the Broadkill River in Milton earlier this month, just days after Tropical Storm Isaias barreled up the East Coast. He then brought the bottle to the Milton Historical Society, where a curator helped him find one of the two people who wrote it back in 1985.
Oh.
Kathy Riddle, no relation to Tom, who still lives just a few miles away, told the station that she wrote the letter with her cousin and threw the bottle into the water at Prime Hook Beach. The note included several childhood topics and described, for instance, what pets their family owned at the time. We like animals a lot, they wrote. Do you have any pets?
Aww.
We have a dog.
Aww.
Washma said he was surprised the bottle was in the same waters so many years later.
Wow.
With the tides and the amount of storms that come here, tropical storms, nor'easters, hurricanes, over 35 years, you'd expect it wouldn't end up in the same waters. Riddle floated a different theory. She said it didn't travel very far, she said, but perhaps it traveled the world and came back.
Aww,
I like
that's a neat story.
That is a pretty cool story.
It kind of reminds me of the story you tell of in childhood when you guys did those released balloons with a message.
Yes, I think I was in.
It was very popular in the 80s,
grade.
Right?
We released balloons that was tied with a little message written in, covered in laminated, and I was the only one in the class who heard back, and it made it all the way up to Lake Michigan.
Wow.
So we were about 2 hours southwest of Chicago, where we grew up, and someone found it on the shores of Lake Michigan and sent it back. And like the letter was sort of I don't know what the word is. It wasn't fully intact because of the weather and the water.
Yeah.
So it just said Jason Kote, K-O-T-E, was on there. It said my age, but it had the address of the school. And so that was pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat to even like dream about where these things end up, you know, if you do something like that. But to have it come back, what, 35 years? That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I have one more story, and you're going to love this one.
Your mom says something here where the author's charged with littering.
I wonder about that. I'm like, I don't know if that would be a thing.
I'm pretty sure you can't do that anymore.
Done anymore.
With balloons and the environmental aspects. But there are some balloons that disintegrate or whatever. Like they don't, but they could still be choked on.
I think the balloon, I don't remember if the balloon came back or not, but it was just a piece of paper laminated with a string attached to it. Mm-hmm. Let's see, Tracy, what does Tracy got to say? She says, I tried to do a cartwheel in front of my class. Peer pressure from students. Funny outcome. Probably should not do that any longer, but will in spirit, a.k.a. adult trying to have fun like a child.
Aww, nice.
All right, so one last story
Tracy.
here in Adultitis Fighting News. Giant Rat wins Hero Award for his life-saving bravery and devotion. That's the end of the story. No. A rat has, for the first time, won. I love that this part's in question. For the first time, a rat has won a British charity's top civilian award for animal bravery, receiving the honor for searching out unexploded landmines in Cambodia.
Whoa.
Magawa, a giant African pouched rat, was awarded the PDSA's gold medal for his life-saving bravery and devotion after discovering 39 landmines and 28 items of unexploded ordnance in the past 7 years. First known as the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, the PDSA started as a free veterinary clinic in 1917 and has honored heroic animals since 1943. Magawa was trained by a Belgian organization that has taught rats to find landmines for more than 20 years. They work with programs in Cambodia, Angola, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, to clear millions of mines left behind from wars and conflicts.
Wow.
It says Magawa is the group's most successful rat. He's an overachiever, having cleared more than 141,000 square meters of land, the equivalent of some 20 soccer fields. And describes the medal as a huge honor for our animal trainers. It says it's also big for the people in Cambodia and all the people around the world who are suffering from landmines. Now, you might be wondering, why rats? It says giant African pouched rats are used to detect landmines because of their intelligence, size, and lifespan of 8 years. Their size allows them to walk across minefields without triggering the explosives and do it much more quickly than people.
Well, this makes more sense because I'm like, they're basically using these little guys as, I I pictured them blowing up every time they went over my landmine. Anybody else? Anybody else? Because I'm like, did he just not find enough of them? Like, why was he so successful? So that all, you wound it up at the end. Thank you for that clarification.
This is what I do.
By the way, there's a cool thing going on here of like, we got
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Splinter should have been awarded that at some point, I would think.
And
rodents of unusual size, I don't believe they exist.
We just watched that. It's classic.
Well, yeah, Shia says got to check the fire swamps. Fire swamps, right?
Yep.
Well, I thought this would be a good opportunity to bring on an expert, a resident rat expert.
Yeah, right here
which
at
could
our
be,
rental home.
I know you're freaked out about even the concept of this, but we have someone here that many of you know, Jenna Regis.
Yay!
Who,
cheer on.
Also, she does a lot around here, as you know. But what you may not have known about Jenna is that back in the day, she owned
Two.
pet rats. So, Kim, we talked about this earlier. Kim said she's going to try to not throw up during the show. It's not Kim's thing, but Jenna, I gotta say, I imagine this doesn't surprise you. Now I know this is a giant African pouched rat. I don't believe you had that, but
I did not have
it probably as a rat pet owner, you're not surprised that a rat.
We're getting all the Jenna love here, by the way.
Well,
Hi Jenna.
Well skilled for something like this.
Scabbers.
The intelligence and the whatnot.
It's the only bad rat, Scabbers. No, rats are amazingly intelligent. They are also the cleanest of the rodents. If you've ever been around a hamster or a gerbil or a guinea pig, stinko, right? Not so much with rats. They're very fastidious, very clean, and they are so intelligent. I was able to train mine where I could tap on the desk when I was working, and she would come over, and she'd crawl up, and she'd sit on my shoulder and just hang out. She'd come for her favorite treats. Very, very smart.
That's a pretty cool trick. Not quite as cool as detecting landmines, but you know,
it's true. Not many landmines at college. I mean, not that
Actually,
rats
a
could
lot
help
of
me with.
landmines in college.
Different
We're doing
kinds.
RA.
I would. I should have sent them in ahead. I smell something unusual.
Yeah.
Go, Zoe, go.
Right.
I don't know if I remember this part of the story, but like, what was the thing that triggered you to get a rat? Was it like
Triggered? That's the word you're using
well,
in a landmine
like what
conversation.
was the impetus?
He didn't even get it.
No. What was the thing? Like, did your parents not let you get another pet, or was it like, no, I read about rats in science class, or I had a friend who had a pet rat? Like, what was the?
Yeah, actually, it was. I'd had a really, really rough freshman year, and when I came home at Christmas time, I was confiding in a friend who's actually a mentor, and she had raised rats, and she came by like right at the end of Christmas break, with a fish tank, a little small tank, and said, "If you hide it well, they'll never know. They'll never smell it. They'll never hear."
So your mom had no clue at the beginning?
I took it to college with me.
Okay.
Like, she wasn't supposed to have it in
the
the dorm
we
room.
weren't supposed to have that particular pet in the dorm rooms,
yeah.
and I can somehow convince my 2 college roommates that it was cool.
Gosh.
And yeah, so she had run of the dorm room, and she was so sweet, so smart.
What was
and
her name?
Her name was Cookie. She had a little C-shaped white on her belly. And so, as you learn in Sesame Street, C is
for Cookie.
Yes.
So she was Cookie. Yeah.
C is for Cookie. That's good enough for me.
See? You're coming around. You're coming around on the rat debate. You're with
Like,
me,
what's
Kim.
that next line?
Exactly.
You may have misinterpreted what I was going for there.
Well, that's good. So. Did you have any? Was it love at first sight, or did you have any reservations at the beginning?
No, she was so sweet. She was little. She had been rescued. Actually, she was earmarked for python food, and so she got rescued from that fate, and I think she knew she owed me. So so yeah, we were friends. I mean, she would ride on my shoulder all the time, and I had long hair like this, and her little tail would hide there, and she would hide right behind my hair, and she was just so sweet. She was so sweet. Give me
gross.
Yeah, she'd put a sunflower seed in my mouth, and she'd get her cute little paws, mouse the sunflower seed.
Mouse.
She would do it. It was great.
And then where did the second one come in? Did
so
Cookie have
domestic
a
rats do not last very long, regardless of how well you take care of them.
Not 8 years like this African
No,
one.
that's again one of their advantages.
Yeah.
Right.
So then Zoe was my second, my sophomore year. So
Maybe if you would have told Cookie that it could have a longer lifespan, it would have lived up to it and had a positive prophecy.
that was the problem. I didn't give her enough
Placebo.
information.
You're like, I'm supposed to die early.
Life
I don't, no one ever
expectancy
told me.
placebo. It's a
To be
thing.
fair, she was in college with me. She didn't get enough knowledge. Maybe I didn't give her enough books to read. Books to read. She never ate my homework. I never got to use that. She never ate my homework.
Aw, man.
She's too smart for that.
Come on.
Well, Paul says he had pet mice in college, just a matter of scale.
Right?
Nice.
People are enjoying you looking a bit worried.
What's Connie say? Hi, Connie.
Well, Connie, we also had a
Connie.
pet rat growing up, and she was so
Aw.
smart, and we all adored her.
Thank
Wow.
you. Right?
That's-
See?
Testify.
That's-
Right?
Hashtag
I don't know that you should
Team
talk
Jenna.
about Carrie like that. That doesn't seem very
Oh,
nice.
no.
But, Kim's holding it together here.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I have not heard the story about Connie's rat. I did not know.
No,
that.
I didn't know you guys.
I think you
had
guys need to
rats
get another
growing
one
up.
so that Kim can come
You
and
guys
visit
will
it.
have to message about that.
Right?
Connie,
Yeah.
Connie, our sister-in-law. by
Further
the way.
tangible connections.
Well, hi guys.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
thank you, Jenna.
Of
Thank you
course,
for shedding light on this
Anytime.
important news story about giant
I think
hero rats.
there's a lot of rat names in the comments. Amy Shorter says
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. I think there was another one up there that Templeton.
Templeton, yes.
What's that one from?
That Charlotte's Web. Yes,
Web,
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a piece of work. Rats of Nim. Remember The Secret of Nim? It's a good one.
Oh man.
Well,
No more
Connie
rats.
says, hubby says, no more rats.
Your brother. Yeah. Does that surprise you, Dan? Growing up?
It kind of. It wouldn't surprise me if he was okay with it, but it doesn't surprise me that he's not.
With his degrees in biochem, it seems like rats are a
He
part
probably
of that somehow.
dissected a few in
Yeah,
his day. I
I
would
would
say
think.
that with his bio background. But
Yeah.
all right, well, it's time to move on. That was our Adultitis-Free news. And we were talking about pumpkin spice earlier, and we got a giveaway to give away, and we didn't bring a giveaway to give away. But what we decided is that the winner will get a 11 by 14 print of your choice of any of the artwork that is currently on the lemonade stand. You can pick out whichever one you want.
Yes.
So someone asked me recently, because we've been showing some of my new Corona Blessing paintings, and they've been in the
How do we
Insider,
buy the
they've been on
prints?
the show, and the prints for those are not going to be available yet. They're coming soon. They will be available once Gallery Night happens.
Yes,
And
which-
Gallery Night,
Wednesday, November 11th.
November 11th, is
Yes,
going to be a
11/11.
special edition of this show.
Mhm.
And it's going to be fancy, and we're going to be unveiling some new stuff. We're going to kick off an auction where you can own not only the originals you can bid on, but you can also own some other exclusive items that will not be available anywhere else. So that's coming soon.
Yeah. it's gonna
But
be an
in
awesome
order
night.
to have a chance to win this print, we were asking this question: what should definitely not be flavored with pumpkin spice? Now, some of you already said you don't like pumpkin spice, and so the answer would be nothing should be flavored with pumpkin spice. But I want to hear what you guys think of what
I
it
love
should
it.
be. So Doreen says beef.
Beef. Oh, yeah. No beef
Seems
pumpkin spice.
interesting.
Pumpkin and beef.
Paul says nachos.
Ooh,
Nachos.
no, nacho.
I'm trying to
Not so
imagine
good
some
choice.
sort of I have a really good recipe for a pumpkin dip that's really good with
Dip?
gingerbread
Like a-
cookies and stuff like that. Like, I'm imagining some sort of a dessert nachos, but I
What he's
agree.
talking about.
Savory nachos does
No.
seem like a bad
Right.
choice. How about this sauerkraut?
Which you
I think
don't
my
like
mom's
sauerkraut.
watching. I'm not
No.
even gonna go in the sauerkraut. I'm gonna give you a pass on that one tonight, Mom. But
Although, leading up to Halloween, you should tell the sauerkraut story.
it actually
it
is
is
a Halloween.
tied to Halloween.
It is a Halloween story.
So that will come soon.
It's scary, so we might have to
It
wait
is,
for
yeah.
Halloween to tell that story. It's a terrible. Sharon says soda pop.
Ooh.
Soda pop.
I love how
pumpkin
she was
spice.
very inclusive, the way she described that drink.
Well, I'm glad she said soda pop. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known what she was talking about. Mike says bacon. Bacon?
Oh,
pumpkin spice bacon.
Yeah.
Ooh, what do you think, Jenna? Jenna's our bacon aficionado. Have you ever had pumpkin something bacon?
She'd give it a try.
She goes every year to Bacon Fest in Chicago, where some of the top chefs put together some pretty creative bacon dishes. So she would try it. She'd
legit
try it.
bacon fan.
Toothpaste, bacon flavored toothpaste.
Bacon flavored? I'd do that. Pumpkin.
Or
flavored.
pumpkin flavored.
Yeah.
Bacon flavored. Bacon flavored anything. I can't. That'd be another thing. How about this? Steve says communion bread wafers.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that
what
would
if they did that
spice
for like
things
the
up
fall?
a little bit. Come back to church, everyone. Everyone's been away for church for so long. To get people back in.
Here's the way to get you back. Pumpkin flavored wafers.
I think we're going straight to hell. Straight to hell.
Is that like...
Not a bad idea. He's not wrong. Catherine says, I tried to buy pumpkin spice in New Zealand. I couldn't find it, even though some packaged goods have it. But having it in my pantry? No.
Interesting.
Pumpkin spice pizza? Did someone say pumpkin spice pizza earlier? That wouldn't.
No.
Helen, lemonade should not be pumpkin spice. I agree with that.
Yeah, lemon and pumpkin.
How about pumpkin spice bubblegum?
Oh, no. Good one, Lisa. Ugh.
Jen seconds the toothpaste. Not good. Pumpkin spice lasagna.
Oh.
How about pumpkin spice orange juice? How about pumpkin spice cheese curds?
Oh, no. No. These are
pumpkin
good.
Spice cough syrup.
Oh, again.
That would ruin cough syrup.
As if cough syrup isn't ruined anyway.
I think pumpkin spice Doritos. Why do I feel like they already have that?
I bet they probably do.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
What else? Amy Payne says Team Bacon Fest.
Right.
Victoria, pumpkin spice garlic bread.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
No.
I'm glad I asked this question. That's
all the things not to do.
The body of Christ. Mike says, our pups have bacon flavored toothpaste. There you go.
See, well, have you tried it? That's the main question, Mike, because you got to be a little curious.
Pumpkin spice smoked salmon.
No, I don't think so. There's got to be a pumpkin fest that they do a lot of these things, don't you think? Whenever there's a fest of some sort, they're trying everything with that.
Okay, so Lynn clears it up. She says pizza was a no-go, and Steven said it was delicious.
No.
Team Lynn, Team Steven. How about a pumpkin spice ice cube? Okay, you might not know what this is. Pumpkin spice lutefisk.
Oh yeah, isn't that Swedish?
That might actually make that fish better.
Norwegian?
Isn't that nasty, gross? It might need a whole pound of pumpkin spice to make it edible.
It's like a stinky fish, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, keep those coming in.
Good ones.
Love seeing these answers. We will pick a winner shortly after the end of the show, which is coming up very, very soon. Just a reminder to everyone, 11/11.
Yes.
Why are you smiling at me like
11/11.
that?
I know.
Is that what you're excited
I
about?
know. It's my favorite number.
That's gallery night. So that's coming up soon. It'll just be like 5 weeks away. It's going to be a special show. We've got some really cool things in store, and you're going to want to definitely mark the calendar for that. And
we're
check it
also
out.
going to be coming out with some tips if you want to host a virtual or in person, depending on your bubble of, whatever, Corona bubble.
Yep.
Of
comfortability level.
Yeah, of having a watch party for that, because it is going to be sharing the stories behind the art, the 9 Corona blessings. And there's going to be a lot of fun shenanigans throughout the night. We're basically taking what we've learned from Wonder Night and bringing it virtual in a whole new way. What does this make possible? So, so it's watch party worthy.
Yeah,
is that a
it's
thing?
going to be. I think. That's one of the things about Wonder Night is normally we have Wonder Night. We would have had it this year, but we can't. and it's a chance for
Because
people to
COVID.
because COVID.
Yeah.
Because it's a chance to come together and have a really nice dinner, meet other Adultitis fighters, dress up, hear me tell stories about the paintings, which is more than I used blue for this reason. It's like it's meant to be inspirational, right? And so this gallery night is going to be that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be inspirational. It's going to be a chance to connect with other people. So we're giving you the date now. So if you want to create some sort of like an in-person party where you get dressed up and have a really fun dinner, or if you want to just have people join you virtually, and obviously you can interact in the chat. Do whatever you want with it. Make it kind of a fun thing, and we want to invite people to make it an event. It will be like pretty much the week after the election, so half the country is going to be crying, or we'll all be crying, and like
I predict the latter.
It's like it may not even
we
may not even know results by then,
right.
so we're going to need to get our minds off of that stuff. So
perfect.
Yeah,
timing.
so we want to let you be a part of that and let you know ahead of time. So that is about it for today's show, though. I mean,
thank you guys. Obviously, we couldn't do Let's Draw here tonight, so sorry about that. But if you've missed any of the shows in the past, all of the Let's Draw segments are in our YouTube channel, Escape Adulthood. So I don't know how many there are, 20? 21?
Yeah, it's in the
like
20s,
that.
I think.
So you can, go visit that at any time or share that with someone who would enjoy a little drawing segment.
Yes, I'm glad we made it through without the computer crashing.
Sweet.
Staying live. We'll be back with our normal sets next week.
Whatever that means.
Tune in.
New normal.
What's involved with that. But that is it for tonight's show. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and be awesome.